My story begins when I was a kid. Unfortunately, I grew up and I had flat feet, just like many other people. And that wasn't easy. That was a very tricky situation to deal with. I had back pains, I had knee pains, and ankle pains all throughout my life. And especially running, I found very, very difficult to run and not to have pain in my back and in my ankles and knees. It wasn't an easy situation to deal with because back then, when I was growing up, the only solution they found to give me was this inside sole, which are really thick, and they basically support your foot in a way that it's supposedly good for your ankles and knees. It's not a bad solution, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't work for me. All throughout my life, I grew up with the idea that you have to build your muscles to sustain your body. The healthier you are, the better it is for you. So I didn't want a tool to make the work for me whenever I could just, grow my feet strong and have them to support myself instead of having this support, extra support, fake support. The problem for me was that whenever I would take that inner sole away, the thick material out of my shoe, my foot will go back to flat. And that didn't work because I had to support my foot with my muscles. That's the only way I could find for me to not have flat feet again and to be a normal person. The solution I found was this barefoot shoes or zero drop shoes. This was my solution to my problem. Why is that? Well, simply because it's basically like walking barefoot. And it puts you in a position where your feet have to do the work. These are very cheap shoes, by the way. You can find them on Amazon for like $40. And there really is no support inside. It's basically like wearing nothing. They just protect you from the outside, which is amazing, and that's what I need. I need protection. I just don't need the support that normal shoes do. Another problem I started to find is that whenever I would wear normal shoes, the big part of my foot was really tight inside the upper sole in this area here. It would just squeeze my foot, and it would just point it into a way that it wasn't natural for me. It was very unnatural. So with these shoes, I found out that my foot can really space inside because they're really wide, and so I have the space for my toes, for my base to really be solid and to spread out the whole foot. It really helps me. It gives me so much more support, so much more stabilization, so much more strength. I feel much more grounded. And that's also another reason why I switched into barefoot shoes, is because I wanted to be more grounded. I wanted to feel more connected with the ground. I wanted to feel more one with the nature around me. So whenever I would go hiking, I would feel every step of the way. I would feel the rocks, I would feel the roots, I would feel the leaves. I would feel everything that really connects me to where I am. And if I would wear like a thick shoe, it would just take me away. Sometimes I do wear those, and I feel like I have so much mud under my foot, and that it's taking away from the experience. These shoes for me were a life-changing opportunity because they really make my feet strong now, And I always struggle with balance in my life just because flat feet, you know, all the legs just collapse inside, the ankle, the knee. So basically, whenever you have strong feet, strong foundation, everything else comes way easier, such as balance. I'm a yoga teacher and I was terrible at balancing position. Now I really feel connected, I feel strong, I feel like I have that stance, that inner power within myself that allows me to really master these positions. Another thing I started doing is running barefoot. I love running barefoot. It's just such a way for me to connect with my body and the universe around me, the earth. It really brings me back to when I was a kid, you know, like I was running barefoot, I was like connecting, I was just like feeling one with the whole and feeling present. So I've been running barefoot for around 2 years now, 2 years and a half. It's not an easy process because your body, I was running all my life and I was always running with my heel first. And during all this time, I was running wrong. Like that wasn't a natural way for me to run. It didn't feel good. I had knee pains, I had back pains. I didn't enjoy it. Once I started switching to barefoot shoes, I had to change the way I run by putting this area of the foot first and then slowly advancing. So instead of running like this, I'll run more like swiftly. That works much better. That doesn't impact my knees and my back as much, my hips. It's much more connecting with nature. And yes, it takes time to get to because you're gonna use your calves a lot more. Okay guys, let's start with the pros and cons of barefoot shoes. So the first one really, you know, big improvement that I found is having stronger feet. So having a stronger foundation for me is super important. As I said, I'm a yoga teacher and I move a lot, you know, I walk a lot, I stand on my feet a long time. I want my foundation to be really, really there, you know, and hold me up. So feet, having them strong, yes, I want that. Next one is improved awareness. So whenever I go out for a walk in nature or even on footpaths or on, you know, concrete, I found myself really aware on where I stand, really aware on what I touch with my feet and where I'm at. So that helps me with my grounding, with my being present and being in the moment. It's such a beautiful practice to have, to feel the sensation in your feet. The next one would be better posture and less problems with my pain. So I found out that having a stronger foundation, it improves also your posture, the way you are, and sometimes also the neck pain, knee pain, hips pain can be caused by a lack of a strong foundation, and having a strong foundation really helps you to let go of that problem or that pain that you might be suffering for a while. So definitely I would suggest to try them out and to see, you know, slowly by slowly if that improves. Usually it does because, as I said, the foundation is super important for you. Let's now move to the cons of these amazing shoes that exist. One of them, it can be expensive because, yeah, not these shoes in particular because these are $40 and they're not expensive compared to other shoes, but there's other brands such as Vivobarefoot that I am a really big fan of, and they are expensive shoes. I also used to use some boots for winter by Vivobarefoot, and they last me a long time. So they're actually built really well. The other con, but that can be really depending on the person, is they're not always very good looking. Like you have the toes here, the toe box looking. There's no like separation in the toes, but it kind of looks like toes. It's not great looking particularly, but some of them are. I like Vivobarefoot, as I said, for me they have great designs. and they can really look like normal shoes instead of like clown shoes, as they're said, or weird shoes. But that's very like up to you to find the model that fits your needs. And the last thing I'm gonna say is that forget to be like feeling taller when you wear shoes, because these really put you to the ground. And for me, that's not really a con, because I want to be showing who I am. I don't care to be looking taller. It doesn't matter to me. All I want is to be myself. So if I am to the ground and that's my height, and I'm happy with it. It doesn't matter to look taller or anything. So yeah, that's something to consider if you are into like, you know, having that little boost there. For me, that's actually a positive thing, because it helps me to bring back to who I am and to love myself the way I am. So it doesn't really matter for me being shorter or looking shorter, because it doesn't matter. And so my conclusion would be, yes, barefoot shoes for me are absolutely recommended. I really love them. I would never go back to normal shoes, simply because whenever you start wearing these, everything else doesn't make any sense to my eyes. Obviously, other people have different opinions, but for me, really, barefoot shoes help me out to let go of that flat feet syndrome and to embrace my feet and to have a strong foundation and be happy with my feet, because I wasn't happy. I never was happy with my feet. I now really am embracing it. I can tell you how great and how amazing they are all day long, but at the end, it's up to you to try them and to see if they are for you. Okay? Have a good one, guys, and see you in the next video. Peace.